Hang on. Let me do this real quick. I'm sorry. I was just trying to. I was just trying to get things together. Um, so before I get started, I want to wish every all the women out there a happy Mother's Day. May you have a safe and blessed Mother's Day. I hope you enjoy your day. Um, Unfortunately, mine is gone. She left us in 1988, but physically, she left us. Spiritually, she's always in my heart, you know, and I miss her. I love her a lot. So, with that being said, I'm wishing you moms out there a happy Mother's Day, and for all the kids that's like in their teens and up, um, the one thing I would say is take care of your mom. Let's not be disrespectful, because at the end of the day, you only get one mother, and when she's gone, she's gone. Ain't no coming back from that. So we really need to be careful the way we treat our moms, because we only get one of those. And as I learned the hard way, once she gone, she gone. Okay, so with that being said, let's see if I come up a little closer. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm just checking. I'm just checking because I got a mic set up and it's over there. Anyway, my little my, my little girlfriend right back here. She's so adorable. I love her. Anyway, so we're talking about mental health. This is Mental Health Awareness Month, and um, speaking of mental health, I still have my issues. I still need to get to the VA so that I can get my medications adjusted because I've been on them for years. So I've built up a tolerance. So it doesn't seem like they're working right now. So I have to go into the hospital so I can get readjusted with the medication. I've been wanting to do that for a minute, but unfortunately, I got other things going on that can't really I can't really skip. So once this is all over, and hopefully it'll be over with in the next week or two, but by the end of this week, hopefully, this will be all over, and then I can do what I need to do. I do suffer from PTSD. I do suffer from depression, and it does seem like my depression is starting to get a little bad. I'm constantly sleeping all the time. Don't want to get up and do nothing. Um, I know my PTSD is off the chain. Um, and every day is a struggle for me. And by the way, let me put this disclaimer on it. By no stretch of the imagination am I a therapist or my psychiatrist. I'm just somebody who deals with it and, you know, trying to reach out for other people that might have to deal with it so we can create like a soft, a safe network amongst us that we can have an open conversation, because I know I'm not the only one out here dealing with this, but like I said, for me, every day is a struggle. It's a struggle, especially dealing with PTSD. PTSD is irritating as hell. I've gotten to the point where, and I never thought I would ever get to this point where I don't ever want to go out my house. Well, we at that point, and I'm noticing, little bits, trying to be a recluse a little bit. Um, and which I never used to be like that, but now it's like, yeah, I'm starting to get that way. You know, um, that's because, you know, dealing with the PTSD and what it's stemming from, you know, I don't trust being outside. I don't trust people. You know, I can't. I just can't. You know, if I don't know you already, I have an issue. Because as far as I'm concerned, everybody out there is trying to do me wrong. You know, and that's not. I know that's not the case, and that's not the reality of it. You know, but it's there. It's there. So yes, I got on a wig. So what? Um, so dealing with this thing, it's hard. It makes it hard to maneuver, on a day-to-day basis. I get up, I do the basics. I get up, I take a bath, I eat breakfast. I do the basics, but then anything past that, it's a lot of work. And I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard. But I am in therapy. I have been in therapy for quite some time, and I am in therapy, and you know, I'm getting some good things of it. And this is what I tell people, because people like, you know, they poisoning you with these medications. They're doing this and that and the third. Well, it depends on how you taking the medications. Now, don't it? Okay, because I take medications in conjunction with my therapy, and it works. So my question is, how are you taking your medications? Are you taking it in conjunction with the therapy, or are you just taking the medication to be taken? Because it sounds to me that if you're taking the medication just to take it because it was prescribed, then I could see you looking at it as poison. But if you're taking it as you're supposed to, in conjunction with the therapy, then it's working. It's not poison. It's just depending. The way I look at it, it's just depending on how you take your medication. Are you taking it in conjunction with the medication, or are you just taking it to take it because you have to take it with no kind of extension to it? When you take medication, you have to have some type of extension to it. Like pain meds. People that's on pain medication. You know, they don't just take the pain medication; they take it in conjunction you know, with their doctor. You know, so they can be monitored. So it's I don't see the issue. I really don't see the issue. But then again, these come from same people who like to stigmatize mental health and think that people that have mental health is absolutely nuts and crazy. You know that, and that's not even right, because it's the same thought pattern that people say that, oh, you see the therapist, oh, you taking medication, you must be crazy. That's that same thought pattern. Oops, sorry, I hit my laptop. It's that same pattern that causes people not want to go and get the help that they desperately need, because they do not want to be stigmatized. Well, let's kind of break down mental health. All mental health is a chemical imbalance in your head. And unfortunately, we can't do nothing about that. Because if we could, we wouldn't have no need for medications and doctors, right? So all it is a chemical imbalance in the brain. Somewhere something is off, you know. So instead of looking at it as crazy, if you look at it from a medical standpoint and stop looking at it from the external, and just look at it as, okay, well, mental health is just a chemical imbalance in my head, and unfortunately I can't do nothing about that. You know, we just got to deal with what we got and keep it moving. But one thing I've learned when I hear people stigmatize mental health is that one or two things, and this is just my opinion, one or two things, right? Either you're in denial of your own mental health issues, or you afraid, or are you afraid, or you just don't understand mental health. This is three things. Three things. Either you're in denial of your own mental health, you're afraid of it, or you just don't understand it. And to which I say, if it's the latter one, you just don't understand it, then it's up to you to educate yourself on it. Because it's the same thing like when HIV first came out, everybody was up in the arms. Nobody understood it because nobody know what it was. Shit, they had a hard time even labeling it. We went to gay man's disease to GRID to HIV. You know, Nobody understood it, so everybody was frightened of it. And because of that fear, we always spoke ill of the person that had it, you know. But now we got a more in-depth understanding of what it is. They got medications out there that can make you look so undetected. You know, you cannot catch HIV by kissing somebody unless he got a cut on his lip and you got a cut on your lip. Then okay, yeah, I see that. But you cannot get HIV by casually touching somebody. You cannot get HIV by hugging somebody. Hell, you can't even get HIV by crying and spitting on somebody. See, and a lot of people like, Oh, the spit, the spit, spit. Do you realize how much spit you have to drink in order for you to actually get it that way? You really have to drink a lot of spit for you to get it that way. And then in which case I'm gonna say, your ass is nasty. Anyway, sorry, I was heard some talking outside. I was like trying to figure out. My bad. I'm being nosy, minding my business. I'm minding my business, being nosy. Leave me alone. So, um, I'm not gonna say it's the same thing, but it's the same concept. When we afraid of something, we criticize and stigmatize stuff because we do not understand it. Is that right? No, not at all. Not by a long shot. Because you need to get the full facts before you start making up any kind of assumptions. And the same thing with mental health. You have to get the full facts before you start coming to that. And I understand where it comes from. Because way, way, so way back in the day. Um, when people had issues with their mental health, they went into sanitariums. Right there, it stigmatized mental health as being crazy, you know. EST, electric shock therapy, which I think they still use to this day, but not as much as they used it back then. You know, the lobotomies, way back in the day, to cure mental health issues. Way, way back in the day. Now we're in a more technical world. We're more modernized, we're more up to date. So we get that. So I understand where that comes from, but at some point you have to break that cycle, because if you don't break a bad cycle, what it does is it continue to go around and around. It repeats itself with no end in sight. So you know we need to know and get the full facts on mental health. you know Because what happens if, you know, you're in a relationship, your man, your girl, you've been with him for a few years, everything's all good, everything's lovey dovey, and then just like that, they snap. And now they're beating you behind, they going out killing animals and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, to find out that it was schizophrenia. I mean, some mental health is hereditary and some aren't. But does that necessarily mean that if it's hereditary that you're gonna get it? Not, nope. Because that's like saying, I come from a family with breast cancer. Do I have the markers for it? I'm sure. But does that mean I'm going to get it? Not at all. Not at all. Nope. Because even though I may have the markers, that does not necessarily mean that I'm going to get it. You know. And the same thing with mental health. Some things may be hereditary, and you may have the marker for it. But does that mean that you're going to go down that road? No, no. Basically, it's just letting you know that you got the marker for it. You probably need to be careful and be on the lookout. and watch your mannerisms and the way you move. That way you can be alerted when something really seems to be off. It's called being attuned to your own body. You know, mental health is a doozy. It's a doozy. And I'm glad that there's that people we starting to shine a light on it. You know, but we really need to start shining more light on it. I mean, because there's a lot of people out there that do deal with mental health. Well, let me take that back. They have mental health issues, but they won't deal with it because they're afraid that they might be stigmatized and labeled as being nuts, crazy, maniac, and that's not right. But then, see, at some point, you have to say, I don't give a damn what you think. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I got to live with myself. And I'm not going to let you dictate to me how I'm supposed to feel. And when I feel like I'm off, then I'm going to go do something about it. And this is why I can sit here and say, my PTSD all stems from a rape and a sexual assault, you know? And it wasn't up until maybe within a year or two. Sorry, y'all. Within a year or two, that I had an epiphany, because I haven't always been heavy. I've always been like 90 pounds soaking wet. Even when I went through the military, I had to have a weight waiver because I was a little bit underweight, maybe 5 pounds underweight, you know. But I did everything to get my weight up, and it just wasn't happening. So I still went in. And I had to do a weight waiver, but that's fine, But now, I got some weight to me, a little more than I cared to have, you know. And I know my doctors keep talking about trying to get your weight down because I am pre-diabetic. You need to try to get your weight down, and I'm like, you know. And I always ask myself, why is it that I am basically refusing to lose the weight? And it wasn't until within the last year or two during the therapy sessions it dawned on me, this is why you having a hard time wanting to lose the weight, because when you were little, every, the guys who did me bad, that raped me and sexual assault me, was easy to snatch me right on up. It was like picking up a piece of paper because I was little. And because now I have the weight on me, I'm afraid to actually lose it because I like the weight, because then I know it ain't going to be that easy to just pick me up and snatch me anywhere. Unless you want a herniated disc, you know. But now I'm at a point where, I have my virtual reality glasses, and I try to exercise at least 3 times a week. I do the boxing 3 times a week. Um, I have started coming down a little bit on my weight. I went from like one 169 to now I'm like 161. Probably a little bit more since the last time. So I lost a few pounds, doing that. And I have to tell you, I do enjoy doing it. I love it, you know. So I'm like, I'm trying to set a goal for me a little bit each time. You know, mm, if I could get down, okay, so I'm at 161. Let's see if I can get down to 155, you know. And if we can get down to 155, maybe get down to 150. You know, kind of slowly setting little goals, you know, nothing too spectacular. Like, okay, well, my goal is to get down to 130. Nothing like that. You know, I'm doing baby steps. Okay, I'm at 161. Let's see if I can get to 150, 155. Then if I can get to 155, let's see if I can get to 150. You know, and kind of like that. You know, I just enjoy it. Plus, two is also good for my mental health. You know, because things are moving. Sorry, I have an itch in my back. Um, Things are actually moving. The blood is flowing. Everything's good. You know, and it's just an awesome feeling. But I still deal with depression. You know, I do my arts and crafts, which is a big help. And I tell anybody that deals with mental health issues, you know, try to get yourself a hobby, something that you used to love to do that you don't do anymore. You know, try to get yourself a little bit of a hobby, because when you have your hobby, what it does is it takes you out of your head and you're somewhere else. So now you're not thinking about what's going on with you, you're thinking about what you're doing. You know, I do my arts and crafts. I kid you not. I got this. I love doing diamond painting, and I love it. And I just got this new one, and this is the biggest one I've ever done. Eh, The most I think I've done was like a 109 centimeter by 80 centimeters. The one I'm working on is a big one, you know, and I haven't stopped. I haven't switched up because I'm known for I get tired and I switch up pictures. But this one, no, this is 180 centimeters by 60, and this is the largest by far I've done. But it's a beautiful picture. It's called Woodland Panorama, and it's a beautiful picture. But it's a doozy, you know, and I enjoy working on it. As a matter of fact, when I'm doing here, I'm gonna get on it, you know. So, you know, I have to, you know, we're going to continue to talk about this. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. Uh, you know, I'd like to do something where, you know, where people could come and do the hobbies that they want to do, not necessarily what I do, but their own hobby, and just come in and have a chit chat and just sit and do our work, do our work, and just talk about, you know, mental health issues, you know. And on that note, sister girl gonna be leaving. Sister girl gotta go clean her behind. No, I'm kidding. Only kidding. I'm only kidding. My behind is clean. Only kidding. But no, I do have to eat something. I got a cheesecake downstairs. That's what I really want. So that's what I'm attack. The cheesecake. And I'm not gonna tell you when I'm post, because every time I post I don't. I always forget to post. So I'm gonna be posting videos more frequently, especially during this month because it's important to me. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and this should be mental health awareness. Anyway, It was nice to chat with y'all, and I will see y'all soon. Okay. Okay, I have to do this. I really have to do this. I wasn't going to do it because mental health, but this is at the end of the video. What in the whole entire Drake filled Kendrick Lamar having is going on? I mean, if you ever saw the video with Ted Williams on Club Shay Shay, he did say, and that was like, when did he do that? In December? November? Somewhere around there? And he did say 2024 is the year everybody gonna get exposed. And right now, looking at it, he ain't never lied. Cause everybody getting exposed. Even people we didn't think is gonna get exposed is getting exposed. And my whole thing is like the P. Diddy thing. I always said Hollywood was gonna go down. I always said it. Because I always said that was modern Sodom and Gomorrah. Diddy's gonna be the one to take him down. Because everybody has a connection. Everybody in Hollywood has a connection with him. I said Diddy is going to be the one to take them down. Down! You know? Um, Kudos to Cassie, because Cassie don't know. When she filed her lawsuit, I guess she didn't realize how much of a storm she was getting ready to bring down on his head. You know, because sometimes if we go in biblical, God will use you. When he get tired of the foolishness and the shenanigans, God will use you and position you in a place to where whatever's being done in the dark will come to the light. And this is what we're seeing. This is spiritual, all out spiritual warfare by no stretch of the imagination. Um, he used her, and I don't think anybody had a clue that her lawsuit is going to bring it all down. And like I said, Diddy is the one to do it. He's the one that's going to take them all down. Because everybody in Hollywood has some type of connection with him. And I'm sitting here, I'm watching it. I'm like, and the cards come tumbling down. And see, and this is what I was telling people. You know, when her lawsuit dropped, and people's like, well, why ain't they this and why ain't they that? Okay, first of all, what y'all fail to realize, and this came out during a documentary on Tupac. I think it was Resurrection. I think documentary. One of those, because I've seen so many documentaries on Tupac. It's not even, but I think it was Resurrection. I could be wrong. They even spoke about, yes, there are hip hop police. They have a hip hop book, and Diddy is in that book. See, and Diddy was in that book along with a whole bunch of other people. So, are we really surprised? Because it's like I always said, once you're in the Fed's crosshair, you are in their crosshair. Okay? Now, the mere fact that he was in that book, the mere fact that he was in that book lets me know he's been on the Fed's radar. They just needed an opportunity, and Cassie was the opportunity. And then got slammed again with another big lawsuit. I mean, there was some females, came out with theirs, but then there was another huge lawsuit. She started to bring down them dominoes, and he dropped the dominoes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like she started it, he dropped it, and the house of cards come falling down. And the bad thing about, well, I'm not even gonna say the bad thing. The ironic thing about it is because there's a lot of people in Hollywood that's tied into Diddy, and I have a funny feeling if he go down, they gonna go down too. Cause remember, allegedly, they're saying he had tapes on everybody. So I know Hollywood right now is shook. I know they are shook to their core. And one more thing before I get off. What in the holy Toronto, Canada whimsical is going on? I mean, I've never been, well, I've never really heard any of Kendrick Lamar's music, really, until I saw him perform a couple of years ago at the Super Bowl halftime. But this here, I was like, Drake, who told you that was a good idea to go after Kendrick Lamar? Who told you that? I don't know who told you that, but somebody should in your camp should have said, "Nah, man, that's not gonna be a good look for you." You know, I'm like, what the hell? And I'm gonna tell you, I've heard Kendrick Lamar's this record, and I ain't even gonna lie, that's a banger. That's a banger. I'm like, hey, but I'm still listening to word, and I'm like, hey, ooh, oh, ooh, he didn't, and I'm still doing this. Oh snap! No, Kendrick, really? Yeah, I'm jamming. I'm like, oh no, he didn't, and I'm still doing. It is such a banger. It is such a good song. I love it. I got it on my playlist. But at the same time, I know my name ain't Drake because he got his foot on your throat. Your throat, your neck, your jugular. I'm like, all right. I said, now this is the way we do it in New York style. You don't want none of this, Canada boy. Take your ass back to Canada. And Kendrick Lamar is not letting up. He is not letting up on Drake. I think allegedly Drake went after his family and he just went in and he ain't letting up no time soon. Allegedly Drake is selling everything and trying to move back to Canada. Oh, you did a hit and run. Oh, we did a whole hit and run. Is this what I'm hearing? You did a drive by? Is this what I'm hearing? You come after Drake? I mean, after Kendrick? Your ass, when they got too hot in the kitchen, you bounced. Oh man. Newsflash, they still listen. They still got radios in Canada too, Stu. So You might have to find a big ass boulder to go hide under, because this ain't just just not looking good for you. But anyway, like I said, I'm getting ready to go hit the cheesecake. I'm gonna work on my art, my diamond painting, and I think I've done all my posts for today. I did my podcast and I did this, so I think I'm good for today. Anyway, until then, again, mommies out there, please have a blessed, safe day today. To my mom, I love you, I miss you, and I wish you a happy heavenly Mother's Day. We'll meet again someday. But until then, you'll always be in my heart, Mom. And with that, we're gonna close it out. Everybody have a good day. Catch you next go around.